Hello viewers, it's your favorite spoiler from Grand Movies. For more updates stay tuned and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel please. Previously on Mobland. Maeve has persisted in using her influence over Conrad and Eddie in particular to push the Harrigans closer to war with the Stevensons. She has accused Harry of being a rat, has persisted in causing discord with Brandon and Serafina, and appears to be interested only in turmoil. Richie is aware that a conflict between the two families is just poor business. The fact that she increasingly appears to be the rat in the Harrigan household suggests that she is thinking about something more profound. In the heart of Mobland, Maeve might be hoping to seize control of the criminal empire. Given that Conrad has been openly accused of being a serial adulterer throughout his life and that she seems to take offense at this, she may potentially be behaving out of pure spite and retaliation. He brought Serafina into the family after cheating on Maeve with a startlingly young Bella, and he loves her despite the fact that she is the result of his infidelity. Maeve appears to be sufficiently enraged, deranged, and lubricated to act on her worst instincts and destroy the Harrigans. Maeve was already intending to target Vron as the next big chess piece to fall in her scheme to start a conflict with the Harrigans, therefore the worst thing she could have done was to insult and laugh in her face at Tommy's wake. Maeve was drugged by her son Kevin after forcing Eddie to shoulder bump a Stevenson guard once more, moving him closer to conflict. Since she is a known antagonistic wild card, it was a precaution to remove her from the game. Despite Conrad's denial, Maeve accuses him of drugging her as soon as she wakes up, storms out, and promptly phones their man Paul. We can draw some conclusions about what Maeve and Paul talked about even if the conversation takes place off-screen because the very next scene shows Vron leaving her house to go shopping and her car blowing up when she tries to start it. When Maeve's plan to use Eddie to kill Tommy and incite a clan war ultimately failed, she immediately went on to the next, more severe assault. Brandon, the eldest son of Maeve and Conrad, has a long history of foolish business endeavors, making him the constant odd man out in the Harrigan family. In order to get back into the family's good graces, he has been pressuring his half-sister Serafina for assistance with another plan, which was ultimately disclosed in episode 5. Numerous rare Mozambican rubies are reportedly in Brandon's possession, and he has already found a buyer for them. To close the business, he just needs assistance with cash fronting. The Harrigans' attendance at the wake and the funeral ultimately led to Richie's reluctant respect, proving that Harry was right to follow his gut. If no members of their family had appeared, it would have been a declaration of war and an admission of guilt because it would have been confirmed that there is no peace or trust between the families. Knowing that would be the case, Richie sent out his fairly ingenious invitation. He either acquired a reason to exact revenge on the Harrigans or he got them within his roof so he could face them all. Richie called Harry, Kevin, and Conrad to a back room with him and two of his guys to settle the score after Eddie, predictably, caused a stir at the wake. He acknowledged that he respected the Harrigans for their appearance, but he also made it abundantly evident that he knew exactly who killed Tommy. He never fell for any of the other plans of the Harrigans, including the deception with Valjean. He wanted to see if there was shame in the eyes of the Harrigans, especially Eddie and Conrad. Retribution was another interesting line Richie drew in the sand. He made it clear that he and his men were free to take Eddie anywhere they saw him in public, which is very reasonable in the eye-for-an-eye culture of the criminal underworld. But Richie saw that a full-scale gang war could only lead to death and lost revenue for the Stevensons and the Harrigans, and that nothing positive could ever come from it. It's intriguing to observe that Richie, who the Harrigans have portrayed as essentially a wild hound, is the composed and sensible party in this scenario. Thanks for watching. For more updates stay tuned and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel please.